MBA applications can be very tricky because it's not just based on one exam or a score, but your entire profile is being evaluated. In today's video, I'm going to be demystifying the ISB application process. Hi guys, welcome to Insider Gyan. My name is Somi. I'm an IIT Delhi and an ISB Hyderabad grad, and I've been working for 8 years in management consulting and banking. And on this channel, through my experience as well as my network, I try to bring to you some college and job and career related advice which can help you make informed decisions. Now, I have been through the entire ISB application process, and in the last 6 years I've also coached and mentored quite a few ISB students to help them get an admit, and also once they have gotten an admit, a bit of career coaching for them as well. So based on that experience, I've picked up a few things what ISB is looking for in your profile during the admission process, and that's what I'm going to share in today's video. But before I start with that, I have a little surprise for all the interested applicants who are going to apply this year. As a way for me to give back to the ISB community, I am going to do an essay review for 2 of you people, absolutely for free, which is why I have a 2-number cap because I don't have infinite time on me either. But stick around till the end of the video where I'm going to be telling a little bit about the rules on how you can be eligible for it. Okay, now let's get started with the video. In the first section, I want to talk a little bit about the entire application process. Now, every detail, literally every detail is mentioned on their website. So I'm not going to spoon feed you, but I'm going to just touch upon the very high level steps. Number 1 is you have to give GMAT or GRE. The score doesn't matter as much, but it is just one of the inputs into your overall application. An average score of 710 is usual at ISB, but even if you have a lower score, you can get an admit based on other aspects of your profile, and sometimes even if you have a very high GMAT score, you won't be getting an admit. Then second is you have to have minimum 2 years of work experience. Third, you have to fill in your entire application online. That includes 2 or 3 essays, a few professional references, and of course the rest of the details like where you have worked, how many years of work ex you have, what are your awards and achievements, those kind of things. Once you have submitted your application with that entire package, ISB shortlists a few people for a one-on-one interview, and that is like the last step before you get an admit or you are rejected. Typically, the ISB applications open for 2 rounds. The earlier round, which is round 1, I think this year the deadline is September 20th, and the deadline for the second round has not yet been released as of the day I'm recording this video. Okay, now coming to the most important section of this video, which is what are the dimensions that ISB is assessing you against? What are the things that ISB is looking for in your profile? So number 1 is academic excellence. Now, how do you demonstrate academic excellence? Firstly, it's your GMAT score. Secondly, they are going to take a look at your 10th and 12th percentages. What was your GPA in undergrad? And thirdly, if you have done your undergrad from a really reputed institute like an IIT, NIT, BITS, DCE, or a Hindu college or St. Stephen's, those kind of bigger brand names is definitely going to get you some brownie points in academic excellence. Dimension number 2, leadership skills. So essentially, leadership skills is not just managing people, but also things like taking initiative, having great empathy, and all the other leadership traits that come with it. Third dimension, clarity that you have in your motivations for joining ISB. Why do you want to join ISB? I cannot emphasize how important this dimension is for not just ISB selection, but any kind of MBA application. So usually they'll definitely ask you to write an essay about it, and a lot of times they'll also ask this to you in an interview. Fourth dimension is what is your X factor? Like what differentiates you from all the other people who are going to be in the batch? Because ISB focuses a lot on diversity, just like a lot of the international B schools do. And they want to know what is that zing that you are going to bring along with you and contribute to the rest of the batch. So about 5 to 10% of people will have really great things to say in this section. Things like they may be having patents in their name, or they may have run a startup for a few years, or maybe you were a doctor in the army for a couple of years. But you will notice that for the majority of the people, that X factor comes in slight differentiating forms. For example, you could differentiate yourself through extracurriculars, or maybe you really believe in giving it back to the society, and that's why you have been working in NGOs for a very long time. So don't worry if you don't have a very groundbreaking differentiating factor. The power lies in very good storytelling through your essays. Now let's talk about what kind of essays you have to write. Usually there are 2 to 3 essays. I mean, when I had applied, there were 3 essays, but I have been seeing in the last 1 or 2 years, there have just been 2 essays of 400 words each. So one essay is definitely going to be about your long-term and short-term goals, why you want to join ISB. The second essay is always going to be asking you about the differentiating factor about you, what skill sets you bring, what is your X factor, so on and so forth. Now the essay questions vary every year, so you can never be sure. In the next section, let me briefly touch upon some guidance or guiding principles that you should use while writing your essays, because this is such a vast topic. I think I can really go deep into it in one more video if enough of you are interested. For example, in the motivation wala question, why you want to join ISB, it is very important for you to focus on 3 things. One is your long-term and short-term goals. Second is how what you have done till now ties up to your short-term and long-term goals. And third is how is ISB going to help you in achieving them. So for this section, you need to do some research on what are the different things that ISB actually offers you. Everything is available on their website. Second essay on the X factor wala essay. So number 1 is you definitely have to give examples. So choose like 2 or maximum 3 traits that you want to focus on. On each of those traits, have like a beginning, middle and an ending in terms of a story or in terms of the example that you're giving them. And in the end, tie all those 2 or 3 examples to help define you as one person. And since this is an X factor wala essay, in my opinion, it really helps if you are able to tie some of the traits to personal situations as well. I'm going to round up this video by sharing some essay writing tips. So number 1 and the biggest tip that I can give you is when you are writing the first draft, let your thoughts out. Pour out everything that you are thinking without sticking to the word limit, because you are never going to submit the first version of the essay, not even second version, not even third version. You will probably submit like the 8th or 9th version of your essay, because once you have let all your thoughts out on paper, it just becomes very easy to go through them and select which one you want to put out, how you can sort of refine it and make it tight, what are some of the storytelling aspects that you would bring in. Number 2, always write it like a story, because the power of storytelling can make even a small differentiating factor look very, very big and impactful. And more than that, whoever is reading your essay is actually going to remember your stories. They're never going to remember out of the 100 people who said that they have a strong sense of responsibility, which one was you. Thirdly, you definitely need to take a few feedbacks from other people on your essay. So essay writing and storytelling is like an art, right? It's very subjective. So I would say don't take opinion from more than 3 people, because otherwise it will just confuse you. So choose those 3 people who you trust, whose advice you really value, and then just send them your essays and ask them for their opinion, if there's anything that they have to add from their personal experience with you, or if what you are trying to convey is actually coming out to the reader. Lastly, coming to the giveaway. So yes, if you are thinking of applying to ISB this year or any of the business schools this year, I'm happy to review the essay for 2 of you. The rules are, number 1, please subscribe to the channel and go and check out the Instagram page as well. Secondly, in the comments, please let me know a little bit about your background and what school you are trying to apply to, what exactly you are looking from me as a guidance. Now, the selection is not going to be random. I'm going to go through each of the comments, and based on that, based on the sincerity from the comments, I'm going to select someone. But don't worry, you don't have to write like paragraphs and paragraphs. Just 3 to 4 lines, which helps me understand you a little bit, is going to be good enough. It's going to be a full coaching process, which is the only reason I am taking just 2 profiles, because I want to help you through that entire journey. Hope this video was helpful for you. Please do participate in the giveaway and subscribe kar dena, like kar dena if you like the video. Please share it, and also bell button bhi hai, wo bhi daba dena. I'm going to see you in the next one. Till then, bye.